Coming up in your franchise sports, we'll review this weekend's action. The Rattlers are at home against South Carolina State, and the Noles attempt to keep their winning streak in conference play going.
Hey, it's Michael the Playmaker, 87 national champ, 3-time Super Bowl champ. And you're watching franchise sport.
Season is starting to look up for the Raiders, whose record is now 2-2.
Rickard's Raiders dominated West Gaston in all 4 quarters of the game, leading them to a 22-7 win over the Panthers. The season is starting to look up for the Raiders, whose record is now 2-2.
The Leon varsity girls volleyball team, who are now 12-2, played at Lincoln Tuesday, October 5th.
Leon's volleyball team improved to 13-2 and 4-0 in district play. They swept the Trojans Tuesday in their own house. Wow, the Lady Lions sure are limited to the Trojans to their 0-0 and the first district victory on Tuesday night. The Lady Lions' next game will be in Orlando tonight and Saturday for the Dig Pink Festival, which will support the cause in the fight against cancer through the sport of volleyball. The tournament is hosted by Lake Mary High School and Bishop Moore High School and will be at the Orlando Sports Center.
The Seminoles had a 3-1 victory against the Wolfpack that looked more like house kittens against the number 14 ranked Seminoles. Young recorded a career high of 12 blocks, including 11 block assists, and picked up 8 kills and 13 total attacks to highlight FSU defensive route. The Seminoles totaled 13 team blocks that night.
The FSU football team is taking a trip to Miami on Saturday, and the Noles have hopes of knocking off their arch rivals, the Miami Hurricanes. The 4-1 Seminoles and the 3-1 Hurricanes will square off at 8 p.m. at the Sun Life Stadium as the premier ACC game. Tomorrow will provide the Noles with their toughest competition since losing on the road to Oklahoma. Florida State dominated Virginia on the road, and the defense has shown measurable improvement. But can it sustain it against Miami's big play offense?
I mean, they play great defense, and Miami's always been known for great defense, but they got playmakers on offense. They can throw it, they can run it, and they got great kickers and kick returners. So, I mean, you know, they're all 3 phases they're very strong in, and we're going to have our A game in all 3 to have a chance.
This game is going to be a physical, tough game. You know, when you watching Florida State on film, you know, the same Florida State, they want to run the football and, you know, try to get the quarterback to throw about between 25 and 28 times a game where they can control the game.
On Saturday, the FAMU Rattlers took on South Carolina State for their first home game of the season. In hopes of improving their season record to 3-1, the Rattlers look to fight hard against the Bulldogs and strike out a victory.
The FAMU Rattlers had a blackout game. That's right, folks, a blackout game where all the students wore black to show that they were united in supporting their team. The Rattlers were amped up and ready as they played their first home game of the season against South Carolina State.
Saturday was the first home game for the FAMU Rattlers as they took on the South Carolina State University Bulldogs. Fans came in all black to support the Rattlers' first home game of the season. The FAMU Rattlers struggled a lot in the first quarter. The Rattlers tried to run this ball on several plays, but managed to get nowhere. The Rattlers struggled a lot in the first half of the game as they did not score once in the first half at all. However, the Bulldogs still managed to score a touchdown as well as another field goal. The final score of the game was Bulldogs 19, FAMU Rattlers 0. I am Jabari Payne, your franchise sports reporter.
FAMU football team will have this week off to rest and gather themselves and also to prepare for their next home game against Savannah State. FAMU is currently battling a 2-game losing streak and hopes to break it against Savannah State. In their next MEAC conference play, Savannah State will face off against Georgia State University this week after coming off a 14-52 loss against Liberty University.
In the ACC Conference football news this past week, 2 players from FSU's football team became Players of the Week in the ACC. After last week's performance, rookie Christian Jones, a Florida State linebacker who was filling for starter Mr. Alexander, who went down with a second quarter injury. Jones registered a team, tied 6 tackles. The true freshman helped hold to the Cavaliers a season low of 25 rushing yards on 26 carries.
Hey, well, this week we'll have something special in store for all you sports fans. Our FAMU football insider Curtis Ford has some important info about the team.
Good evening, sports fans. My name is Curtis Ford, and I have a real treat for you. Today we are talking Florida State and Florida A&M. Opposite sides of the track, same story, almost. First, we'll start with Florida State. And, people are wondering about the BCS race, whether Florida State can get back into it. If you want my take, Florida State's pretty much done that race. But they can run the table this season and get into a pretty good bowl, which isn't that bad. This week they have a big matchup against Miami, the number 13 ranked team in the nation. I feel like they can win that game. Matter of fact, I'm calling upset. So you fans, you can get mad all you want, but we're calling upset. Florida State goes in, they go up against Ja'Cory Harris, who is that's him, And Florida State's defensive secondary, they're not that good, but they can hang with Ja'Cory. So I got them, running the table this season. But on the other side of the tracks, we have the Florida A&M Rattlers, and they need to do something that I call soul searching. They need to dig deep and figure out what's going on, because these past 2 weeks have been, for lack of a better word, embarrassing. Very embarrassing. You lost to Tennessee State and you lost to South Carolina State. You didn't look good in any of those matchups. The offense was anemic. The defense against South Carolina State, after getting embarrassed by Tennessee State's running back Preston Brown, who reeled off 233 yards, they held tight against South Carolina State. But this bye week comes at the perfect time. This is a time where they need to dig deep, look inside themselves, realize that football is for them, whether it is. If it's not, get off the field. Right now, they have Savannah State coming up. It's a confidence builder. And FAMU has a chance to turn the season around, reel off 6 straight victories, and try to find their way into the postseason. That's all I got for you today, sports fans. We are out.
Hey guys, coming up next on Franchise Sports, we'll take a look at the high school football scores around the area, look at what lies ahead for the Tampa Bay Rays, and also review this weekend's NFL games. All that and more after the break.
Some children look to their surroundings for guidance and direction. Some have no one to turn to, but children are our future and the seeds of tomorrow. Let's believe in them, motivate them, and be there for them. Come and make a difference in a child's life. Volunteer today. Become a Walker Ford mentor. For more information, call us at 850-891-3970.
Are you thinking about buying a new home? Are you confused about the process of buying a new home? The Tallahassee Urban League offers first-time home ownership classes. It is a HUD certifying agency.
I'm so glad that we decided to take those first-time home ownership courses at the Tallahassee Urban League.
It really helped make our dreams come true.
Thanks Tallahassee Urban League.
These people are not victims of domestic violence. They are learning how to prevent domestic violence. The American Medical Association estimates that 1 in 4 women are likely to be a victim of domestic violence in their lifetime. The Domestic Violence Coordinating Committee will come to your business to teach what can be done to end domestic violence, because domestic violence is everyone's business. Please, contact us now.
Chris is Shormar going.
Yeah, he went to Ability First.
What?
It's a nonprofit agency that helps individuals with disabilities live independently and provide training so they can achieve their goals. But I think it's done wonders for self-esteem. You can also volunteer with Ability First. I do.
You made me happy.
Hey, let's go! Get in here! Let's go! Get in here right now! Got 30 minutes!
Let's go. For the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives. Let's go. Let's go.
On Wednesday, the MLB playoffs begin as the Texas Rangers and Tampa Bay Rays went head-to-head. The Bronx Bombers faced the Twins and the Cincinnati Reds faced Philadelphia Phillies. Oh, and also the Braves faced the Giants. Let's go to the action. Veteran pitcher Cliff Lee gets the call against the Rays in Game 1 of the ALDS. Rangers get things started off early as Jeff Francoeur hits the RBI double off the center field wall, and Ian Kinsler comes around for the score, 1-0 Rangers. Rangers have the second run lead in the third quarter when Nelson Cruz hits the solo homer off David Price. After a slow start, Cliff Lee settled down and easily handled the Rays batters. Here he strikes out Carlos Pena, Sean Rodriguez, and Pena again for 3 of his 10 strikeouts in the game. Lee matched a postseason high with the 10 strikeouts as the Rangers hold on for the win.
Roy Halladay starting Game 1 for the Phillies in the National League Division Series versus the Reds. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Phillies, Roy Halladay helping his cause with an RBI single off Edison Velasquez. Velasquez only lasted 1 2/3 innings. Look at Halladay pitching great. Roy Halladay struck out 8 Cincinnati batters. Halladay had a perfect game until he walked Jay Bruce in the 5th inning. Fields up 4-on and Roy Halladay is pitching a no-hitter going into the 9th inning with 1 out. Halladay gets Brandon Phillips to ground out at the end of the game to get a no-hitter. The final score of the game was 4-0, Phillies win.
It's Game 1 of the Out Division Series as the Twins host the Yankees. Michael Cuttier gets a swing on CC Sabathia's pitch, and he made CC pay with a 2-run homer to center field. Twins take the lead 2-0, top of the 6th. New York down 3-2. 2 men on with 2 outs when Curtis Granderson, who has been a good add to the team all season, continues to show with a double in the postseason. A 2 RBI double that puts the Yankees ahead 4-3. Top of the 7th, game still tied at 4. 1 man on for New York. Mark Texier changes that 1 with the swing of the bat. A 2-run go-ahead homer to right field that puts the Yanks up 6-4. Bottom of the 9th, Minnesota still down 6-4. 1 man on 2 outs. Here comes Mariano Rivera with the postseason master closer. Gets Jim home to the top out at the 3rd. Yankees take Game 1 of the ALCS division 6-4.
On Sunday, the big matchup was McNabb versus Vick. Donovan McNabb returned to Philadelphia as the Redskins starting quarterback. The fans showed their love and respect for their former quarterback as he entered the field. McNabb threw for 125 yards and a touchdown, as Washington won 17-12. The Eagles lost more than the game. Michael Vick took a hard hit while scrambling. He left the game with a rib injury and did not return. Kevin Kolb tried to lead a valiant effort, going 22 of 35 for 201 yards and a touchdown and the end of the game interception.
Eagles quarterback Michael Vick's MRI results came back negative. He has no broken ribs, but he does have an injured cartilage.
The Steelers were so close to being 4-0 without quarterback Big Ben Roethlisberger. Only close does not count in the Ravens-Steelers rivalry, where every game is tight and no lead is truly safe. Joe Flacco was at Pittsburgh's late go-ahead touchdown and goal line stand to throw an 18-yard touchdown pass to T.J. Houshmandzadeh with 32 seconds remaining, and the Ravens won 17-14 Sunday to prevent the Steelers from going unbeaten without the suspended quarterback, Big Ben quarterback Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, first off, it's good to be back here at the facility, especially with my teammates. Get to see coaches and be around my teammates, and I'm just excited to get back and get focused on football and focus on this year and trying to get to Dallas.
Bears versus Giants. The Bears quarterback Jay Cutler had a night to forget on Sunday. First quarter, Cutler drops back and is quickly sacked by Justin Tuck and company. The Giants look like Titans as they rip through the Bears' offensive line. Second quarter winding down, Aaron Ross blitzers and slams Cutler to the turf. Watch again as Cutler's head hits hard on the ground. He would leave the game after that with a concussion. Ouch. Bears give up the ball after that, and then Brandon Jacobs runs hard up the middle and scores the 2-yard touchdown run. Giants go on for the win.
Two-time MVP Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts traveled to Jacksonville this weekend to face Maurice Jones-Drew and the Jacksonville Jaguars. It came down to a game at the last second, and I mean the last second.
Career long of Scobie sweeps the leg, 59 yards away. He's got it. Jacksonville wins 31-28. Scobie the hero. A 59-yard field goal.
Monday Night Football featured the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. The Patriots made history dominating the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. More than half of the Pats' points came from the special teams and defense. Check out Brandon Tate return the kickoff for 103 yards and then score as New England blasted Miami 41-14. The Pats became the only team in NFL history to score by rushing, passing, kick returns, interception returns, and also have a blocked kick return for a TD in the same game. Wow, that's amazing.
Tiger Woods tried to lead his team to victory over the weekend as the United States and Europe collided as the Ryder Cup went on last weekend, and one team came out with a big win.
The last match on the final round decided the winner of the Ryder Cup. 16th hole, Irishman Greg McCowdell sinks his putt for the birdie and to move 2 up on the match. Team USA had a shot here on the 17th hole, but Hunter Mahan could not finish strong. He let the chip shot well short and barely staying on the fringe. Then Mahan missed the par putt, which gave Team Europe the win, 14-1/2 to 13-1/2. Europe has won 4 of the last Ryder Cup matches.
And one of the most electrifying.
When we come back from the break, our analysts are buzzing about some hot topics. We'll be right back.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? To a place 6,000 miles from home? And how long would you go? Would you go for a week? A month? A year? Would you go for 2 years? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone, and in the process, maybe learn something yourself? Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
There are heroes among us. They don't fly or bend steel or ride off into the sunset. They simply volunteered to look after someone else's health by providing comfort, lending a hand, or simply keeping us on track. Everyone's health needs a hero. Who will you look out for?
Find out how you can participate in improving our health. Visit iparticipate.org.
Every day, our brave troops and their families stand up for us.
For years, we've asked so much of so few.
Now we have a chance to serve these heroes.
To give time, offer comfort, or lend a hand.
To ease the burden on a military family.
Let's honor their service by volunteering ours.
Hey, let's go get in here! Let's go! Get in here right now! Got 30 minutes! Let's go! For the rest of our lives! For the rest of our lives! Let's go! Let's go!
Good evening, sports fans, and today we're shooting for a first outside the studio here in Bragg Stadium. We also have another first for you guys, our first female debater and Miss Tamika Johnson. Don't get it twisted, guys, because she does know her stuff. All right, guys, to kick off this debate section, we're going to pick the chase for the championship, the MLB champions for this year. Willis, who you got?
Well, first of all, if anybody has any common sense on Major League Baseball, they will pick the Philadelphia Phillies.
Listen, guys, ladies out there, it's all about the New York Yankees. We're in there today. Tomorrow, the past, we were the last year's championships for the World Series, and we're going to continue that legacy.
Hey guys, you never discount the reigning champions. But if you guys had to pick any sleeper team that you guys had to pick out today, who would you pick?
Well, it will be David Price and the Tampa Bay Rays.
All right.
Whew. I'm going to say the Cincinnati Reds.
Cincinnati?
Cincinnati.
Wow.
Hey, well, I mean, sometimes when you're looking at the guys who are in the runnings, well, right now, I'm kind of looking at the Minnesota Twins. You know, with Joe Mauer, you know, that guy has batting power, and on top of that, they have one of the top-notch defenses in the playoffs this year. And you could also look at the San Francisco Giants, who have Tim Lincecum, one of the Cy Young winners. And then, I mean, you got a plethora of teams to choose from. What makes you say that the Phillies are going to win the championship?
Well, first, with Figueroa, he's batting 500. You know, that's darn near real great. Like, coming into the season with the postseason, with all this competition, even though the Cincinnati Reds are coming with it, you know, with Holiday pitching a no-hitter, the second time it was ever been done in postseason history. Like, we can't be stopped. And then we can't exclude Ryan Howard, man.
Aside being from Queens, what else has you picking the New York Yankees?
Well, in my opinion, if you're a great pitcher, you can win games. Pitching matters in baseball, period, and we're second in the American League. So that's why I'm going with the New York Yankees.
Yeah, but we got the batting power, you know, Cruz, Mayberry, Figueroa, like I said, Ryan Howard, you know, Utley. We're dynamic, you know what I mean? Like, once you get past that batting core, like, what is there to do? Like,
and then on top of that, when you're looking at the Phillies, I mean, H2O has been devastating. You got Cole Hamels, you have Roy Halladay, and then you also have, Roy Oswalt.
Yeah.
All right, but since we're sitting up here on the football field, there's an amazing story going on in football. Randy Moss has returned to the Minnesota Vikings, ladies and gentlemen. Randy Moss has been traded for a 4th-round pick from the Patriots back to the Minnesota Vikings, the team what he started his career with. Willis, how does this have you feeling?
Well, you know, Randy Moss, I grew up watching Randy Moss. You know, he's high-flying, high-octane, you know, he brings it. But he does have those tendencies to slack off a little bit, you know. But I think this would be a good start for him, and this could like quiet Brett Favre, you know, because a lot of stuff been looking like a lot of players been downplaying Brett Favre, you know, because he took the preseason off and he was down south doing all his thing, whatever he was doing. But I think like this will bring him back. This will bring the deep ball.
Randy Moss, everyone knows him. He's a great player, great talent, all of the above. As far as Bill Belichick dismissing him or trading him from the Patriots, I feel like that, I mean, I'm a Giants and a Jets fan, so I feel like that's a great move because, you know, but at the same time for the team, I feel like that was a good loss. They're going to take that's a huge loss that they're going to take, mainly because he was an asset to their team. 98 catches, slightly under 1,500 yards, all that, and 23 or 28 touchdowns that led them to the Super Bowl at one point in time. Out of 52 games, he did 50 touchdowns. Why would you even want to trade a player like that?
And the one thing Minnesota has been missing from this year is that deep play threat. And Randy Moss is arguably one of the top deep play, receivers of all time. But quick pick, how far do you expect the Minnesota Vikings to make it with Randy Moss?
Well, I think it'll be a good year, but with the whole Brett Favre thing and Randy Moss just now trying to get acclimated to the system, I don't think they'll go too far.
Tamika?
I think they're going to go real far. I think that's a good look for them. Vikings, Brett Favre, all they need to do basically is make sure that they have a cornerback just to protect, and a safety to protect Randy Moss while he's running.
I mean, with AP, that team could possibly make it all the way to the NFC Championship.
But at the same time, the deep ball is taken away from AP. So.
It is. But I guess that's all the time that we have for today's section of Analyze This. You can follow us on Twitter at AnalyzeThisTV20, or you can email us at analyzethisTV20@gmail.com.
And when we come back from the break, we'll have our franchise top 5 plays of the week and an unusual story on some football players that you might want to check out. We'll be right back.
Florida A&M School of Journalism and Graphic Communication is the best journalism school in the nation. Offering majors such as print, broadcast, photography, and graphic design, the FAMU School of Journalism is sure to provide an education that is full of excitement. The FAMU School of Journalism prints the most frequently published black college newspaper in the world, and it has a radio and television station. For a challenging and life-changing educational experience, apply to the FAMU School of Journalism and Graphic Communication today.
Hey, let's go! Get in here! Let's go! Get in here right now! Got 30 minutes! Let's go! For the rest of our lives! For the rest of our lives! Let's go! Let's go!
Let's go ahead and give you your franchise top 5 plays of the week. Play number 5 from World Extreme Cage Fighting. In the featherweight division, George Roop in the black trunks, and check out the great left kick to the head of the Korean zombie Chun Zung Jung. For the knockout, take another look at as Rope, connects with the amazing kick. Jung was out, but appeared to be okay after the fight. But for that thunderous finish. Number 4, our play of the week is coming from Georgia versus Colorado. And on the 3rd and goal, Aaron Murray throws the fade right to AJ Green, and he goes up and makes a fantastic one-hand grab for the touchdown. And play number 3 in the start of the NBA preseason at the end of the first quarter. LeBron James drives to the lane, spins on the defender, and goes up for the nasty two-handed jam. Check out the replay of the smooth move from the King. LeBron James has the Heat easily win their preseason opener against the Pistons. Play number 2 comes from the Georgia Dome. Falcons hosting the 49ers, and Michael Connon punting from his end zone. Has his punt blocked by Dominic Ziegler, and check out the play by Taylor Mays as he catches the block punt and gets both feet in bounds for the touchdown. Great focus, good man from USC. And our top play of the night is Roy Halladay pitching a no-hitter going into the 9th inning. Needing one out, Halladay gets Brandon Phillips to ground out to end the game and get the no-hitter. Wow, look at that.
Hey guys, when thinking of football, you probably think of helmets, hard hits, and hardcore pep talks in the locker room. Typically not what you expect in the world of women athletics. Yet 2 girls in Pulaski County, Arkansas joined their high school football teams to prove that women too can dominate on the gridiron. CNN has more on this story.
It's not about boys and girls, it's just about the game and what we're out here doing.
A love of the game. It's what Jacksonville High senior Sarah Moncrief and Mills High junior Mandy Norton have in common, first and foremost. But compared to their teammates, they're quite different. The only girls in a boys' game.
I've always loved it, said I was going to do it. Last chance.
For these groundbreakers, it took all kinds of guts just to get up the courage.
I didn't know how the guys would take it.
Then to make it through 2-a-days.
It's not as hard as people make it seem. It's really easy. You just got to try and put your best foot forward.
I'm from the old school, I guess you would say, and so having a female on the football team is not something I was looking forward to. But
both coaches had their reservations. Special accommodations and equipment and locker rooms were made. But these girls proved their muscle.
She got in our off-season program, lifted weights, and ran and got bigger and stronger. Excuse me, she got stronger. I better not say that for Sarah. But she got stronger, more agile.
Now, they're just one of the guys.
You have sometimes where you forget that she's a girl, and you just picture her as another football player.
At least on the field. Mandy's boyfriend is number 51.
He's proud of me and he supports me probably more than anybody else in my life except for my dad.
Like other new players, they don't see a ton of game time, but they have a newfound notoriety. Perhaps winning over a few of the skeptics.
She's fit in, I've been proud of her.
Maybe blazing the trail for others to come.
I think it's just a time for us to change and say that we can do what we want to do just as well as anybody else.
Well, that's all for us here at Franchise Sports.
I'm Abby Ackenbar.
I'm Elliot Kadir.
And I'm Ashley Dawes. Good night, sportsmen.
Good night.